All right.
Come on, man.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm good, bro. I had to look for my charger. Kids get your stuff, man, and I don't know. Stuff be gone.
Oh, man, I definitely understand, man. I had
Yeah,
to go ahead and grab my charger before we got this live interview started, man, because
absolutely.
that thing be draining real fast. It's like they pay you, or they charge you more to upgrade to a new iPhone, but
Yeah,
they don't ever upgrade the battery life. I'm trying to figure that part out. You know what I'm
but they,
saying?
they they say they do, but they don't.
Man, they really don't. Well, Mr. Hamilton, once again, man, I hope you're having a great evening thus far.
Yeah.
And we're going to go ahead and get a soulful experience with you tonight. And welcome, everybody. Thank y'all for coming in tonight.
What up, y'all?
Introduce
Thank y'all
myself,
for coming
man.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got the voice of the South. I'm the voice of the South, Q Smitty. I am a radio personality, if you can't tell by now. Don't let the light-skinned face deceive you, you know. I'm a radio personality for 98.7 Kiss, the best R&B. You can catch me on Sundays from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. And
Right.
also, if you want to have a really good night kiss and hear some good Anthony Hamilton, the best of me, on your way home, you can hear me giving you that sweet night kiss from 7 p.m. to midnight.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and so tonight, I just wanted to introduce you all to a very special guest. We're going to have a soulful journey with the one and only Anthony Hamilton. Now, if you don't mind, sir, I could, go ahead and give you a quick introduction real quick.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, coming from where I'm from, we from the dirty South, right? And growing up in the South, you really have to have that soul within you to bring the best out of you, right? And so growing up, when my father put in that album in the back when we had CDs,
Yeah.
driving down the street, put that CD in the Honda, man, and I heard the first song on Coming From Where I'm From. And I
Yeah.
was like, man, this man got a story to tell. And ever since then, man, I just been following your journey. And it's just amazing to see how much you progressed over the years and have developed your craft. You've always been craft based,
Yeah.
not really have people delve too much in your personal life and things of that nature. And that's great to see because we here for the talent. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we have singer, songwriter, nominee, a nominated award winner, all of that good stuff. The one and only Mr. Anthony Hamilton.
Appreciate that, man. How you doing, brother?
Hey, man, I'm doing great. How about you, man?
Good, Smitty. I'm good.
Yeah, man. Did the introduction do it for you, man? What you think about it?
I thought it was top notch,
Hey,
top tier.
yeah, man. I love it. I love it, man. So
Thank you.
first and foremost, man, I wanted to do that because I really have to address the elephant in the room right now.
Yeah.
You said sugar doesn't go on grits. Is that right?
I think my reception messing up. I think my reception messing up. You know they don't go on no grits.
Oh, man. No sugar and butter?
Butter, yeah, butter, salt, and pepper. But
Hot sauce?
you
What?
you about to mess up a good bowl of grits, man. Just about to mess them up.
Come on
So,
now.
so if they cook you grits right, you won't need none of that.
Okay.
You won't need it because it's
How
so
is this supposed to be
have you.
cooked?
So that you put sugar in your rice.
I do. I put sugar and cheese on my rice. Yup. Come on now, sugar and cheese on white rice. You
Man,
missing out.
I've never had it.
Never had it.
Nah, now sugar on rice one time when I was younger because I didn't have no cereal and I wanted the cereal flavor. But other than that, straight butter and salt and pepper. But hey, you gotta have them. Like if I cook some grits for you, you'd be like, okay.
I want to try some grits from Anthony Hamilton, man. I'm trying to get some Anthony Hamilton grits. Are yours like in the middle, or are they thick? Are they a little bit water? How you like yours?
Now I like mine. I like them thick and creamy. Not too thick where you can't put your spoon don't need to stand up in them, but it need to bend slow.
Okay.
If it's in there, that spoon need to go down like this.
Okay.
Buttery, creamy. Yeah, they just have to be in hot. I don't want no cold grits, no lukewarm grits. Not too watery. It can't be watery, man.
Nah,
It's just
man.
and can't be
Nah.
gritty. They need to be able to cook. So if you get the best brand of grits, they're gonna cook well.
What's the best brand of grits? Because I don't get no great value grits. Now you already getting grits already kind of taste funny anyway. But like, I'm sorry, Walmart. Look, I'm down to get sponsored, but great value in here.
Hamilton's the grits are the best. My grits are better than anybody grits. I put them up against Quaker any day.
Okay, that's a bet then. So I'm gonna have
No
to go ahead and start with
preservatives,
grits.
none of that stuff in it. Quaker got all that. They got all that stuff in their grits. So that's why they don't cook, because they're not right. They're not like mine.
They're not like yours. So where can we find your grits?
Huh?
Where can we find your grits?
Well, I'm revamping my company. It was Hamilton Corner Store before, so I'm revamping it. I had a partner that it didn't work out, so I'm revamping, and yeah, just so stay tuned.
Okay,
It'll be running.
stay tuned.
Yeah, there's still some, some stuff on Amazon now. The last of the corner store stuff, but we'll
Okay.
yeah.
And like let's transition into this other question about food, because I really want to test your taste buds, man, because I heard you doing it big in the kitchen, man. You whipping it up.
I do all right, man. I make it really good, so you don't have to go outside the house. So
Okay, hey, that's how you got to do it, so you can chill on the couch and watch football all day, right?
absolutely, you ain't got to be running around talking about I need something to eat when there's already something here. Like I smack a mean pot of cabbage real quick, man. Potato salad, I'll get in there and get it done.
Do
I
you
do a
put
whole
hot sauce
Thanksgiving.
on
I
your
do the whole
cabbage?
Thanksgiving. Say it
Do
again.
you put hot sauce on your cabbage?
Sometimes, but it'd be so flavorful. I put cayenne. I like cayenne powder. Hot sauce is cool, but I cook it with a little bit of balsamic vinegar, so you'll get that and a little spice already. So you might not even need it.
And you said you cook on Thanksgiving too?
I cook the whole Thanksgiving. Like if it's a turkey, dressing, yams, always have like a fish, a salmon or something, greens, cabbage, cornbread, stuffing, dressing. I have it all. I do it all myself. Yeah. So
So you said you cook stuffing or dressing?
dressing, cornbread, and then make it. I
Oh,
call
okay.
it stuffing because you grow up with stuffing, dressing. It's different,
Okay.
but
It's definitely a difference. Because I was going to say, man, that stuffing, I've had stuffing, it's cool, but it's like, dang. The
it,
cranberry sauce with the stuffing makes it a little better, but it's like the stuffing is just a little different from dressing.
it's a little to get too wet.
Yeah, exactly. So let's do this then. Let's say it's Friday night, right?
Yeah.
What is Anthony Hamilton whipping up in the kitchen
On a Friday,
on a Friday?
probably nothing. Or now let's just fish fry Friday or something like that. Most of the time Friday, the boys, they want pizza, and I order me a vegan pizza, vegan cheese pizza. But most of the time Fridays are laid back. But if I do have to fix something, it'll be something like a pasta salad, some kind of salad or something light, whether it be fish or, fried mushrooms or something where I can just relax and don't have to worry about too much.
Like a fried Friday, something nice and simple.
Something simple. If Friday is, I done cooked all week. I'm tired on Friday.
But the Sundays are hitting though.
Sunday's gonna be hitting. Yeah. Sundays.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of that, ladies and gentlemen, I need y'all to do me a favor. Go to Anthony Hamilton's Spotify. There's an artist pick playlist called Cornbread, Fish, and Collard Greens.
Oh yeah.
Be sure to add that.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. So let's go ahead and get into the music real quick. I want to talk to you about your journey, as an artist, right? Because as a music artist, you have a lot of experience that I feel like we need to hear about. So if we can run it back, Mr. Hamilton, to when you were growing up, like how impactful would you say the church played on you becoming, the superstar that you are today? Because it's like a bit of an oxymoronic situation where it's like church is spiritual, right? But then a lot of church members view, I would say, R&B and soul, that's something that's not gospel, as secular, right? But what's so ironic about it is, you know, most artists who grow up in the church end up becoming some of the best secular music singers of all time. So can you talk about your journey as a child growing up in the church?
Church is the place, you know, I definitely was going to church a few times a week, some weeks, and every Sunday. And the voices that I heard in church were those voices that pierced my soul and made me listen up. Like, okay, this is a voice that I really love. This is a voice that brings. Sometimes it was haunting. It was so powerful that it was scary, and sometimes it was beautiful and it was a freeing feeling. So I was able to pull back from my church, you know, experiences, being in the choir and all that stuff, and mimic those voices until I created my own voice. So church was a place where I got my first teachings. You know what I mean? Mm.
Yeah, your first teachings and your first lessons. So I asked that to ask this because I have conversations with people nowadays, and some people feel like R&B music, and I'll say this personally as well, R&B music just doesn't hit the way it used to. It's like the singers nowadays just don't give you that punch in your soul that will make you want to drop a tear, right? Do you feel like there's been a decline in church influence that is causing this, or what's your perspective on today's R&B?
You know what? I think there's still some guys who can sing. You see, T-Pain, he came out with music.
Right.
You know, he's a little older, but he came out with music that was sonically, uh, you know, pushing the envelope and had was enhanced. But when he took it off, he could still sing. So some of those guys can still sing. It's just today's audience, they want something new. The younger demographics are really running what's popular, and you have to cater to that. So I think there's still some left. Uh, Coco Jones, she can sing. Absolutely, she can sing. You have you have Jasmine
Legendary.
Sullivan. Her can sing. Got BJ Chicago
Absolutely.
Kid. Yeah, BJ. There's a lot of singers still around, but I think as time goes and things progress, things change, sound change.
Mm.
There's still a lot of R&B still in the music. There's still a lot of they're going back and pulling from these old songs, whether it be SWV or whatever the song is. I've been hearing them flip it, and I think we've gotten away from the church because the church has let us down so many times. So I don't think a lot of people really want to, you know, be connected to the church like that anymore. But it's in us.
When you say let us down, like in what way? Like what do you
Well,
mean?
church don't be churching. It's all about popularity and numbers a lot of times. And so the younger generation they can see through a lot of this stuff. So a lot of the cats now, a lot of the kids now, they're just more they consider themselves more spiritual. You know, still Christian, grew up Christian, but don't really get into going into a building and being ridiculed and judged. So a lot of them tend to, you know, do something that's not reminiscent of the church for that reason.
Mm.
But you know, there's a few out here that's still doing it. I like what Travis Green is doing, what he's doing. T.D. Jakes is a great teacher. That's a few. It's Keon. He's a great speaker. A lot of those guys are. There's still a lot of great ones who are really doing what they do.
Mm. Right, exactly. And I see the chat is actually dropping some names down there as well, you know. So
Yeah.
Anthony, I want to ask you this then. In today's current R&B scene, what role would you say that you play right now? Do you still play the role of being the, you know, a singer, or are you more of the producer, the executive producer, A&R? Like, what hands do you have going on in the R&B industry now?
I'm everything. I'm writing. I'm looking for talent. I have my own label, my music box got distribution through BMG. So I'm a little bit of everything. I always write. I've always written. Most of the albums written all of them myself.
Wow.
But lately I've been writing with my partner, Eddie Kane, and the new song that I have out is called Queen. It was written by me, Eddie Kane, Eric Bellinger, produced by Jermaine Dupri and Emmanuel Seal. There's a few other writers on there. I can't think of their names, but yeah, we've been collaborating, man, and just writing and producing. Because I hear music as well. I hear instruments in my head, and whatever it takes,
Mm.
I can do it. I've been blessed to learn it all.
Mm. What instrument really stands out the most in your head?
Instrument that stands out the most in my head, I think the bass. The bass starts it all off
Yeah.
for me. The bass,
Bass guitar?
then the drums, then the guitar. Yeah, and then sometimes guitar comes before the bass. Either one of those two can start it off.
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Yeah. There's something about that bass, man, in
yeah,
all forms of
and
music.
piano and organ. That's pretty close. They're pretty close, but yeah,
Mm.
either the piano can start it or the guitar can start it, whichever the bass or lead, and then keys or organ, whatever that is.
Mm. So I want to ask you about writing because you're a writer as well.
Hmm.
You've had some great hit singles over the years, just great albums, period. But it's the reason why I mentioned singles is because that's what that mainstream audience hears the most, right? Do you ever sometimes like have a new creative perspective on, let's say, Charlene, right? The way you wrote Charlene, like 5, 10 years down the line, do you say, okay, dang, I wish I would have, maybe I could add this in there, or maybe I could have, changed it into this perspective. Maybe I could have added a different beat to it to really give it that umph outside of the umph it already has. You know what I'm saying? Do you feel like that sometimes as a
I
singer?
would I would never change Charlene, not nothing. I wouldn't re-sing it. I wouldn't reproduce it. I wouldn't dare. It's perfect.
Mm,
It's a masterpiece. It's perfect. That whole album is perfect. It's
right.
the flaws. No, I would not. I don't even think of that. I couldn't even think of it. Even if I was hypnotized, I wouldn't think about that.
Mm,
It's just because it is what it is, and it's exactly what it's supposed to be. So, nah, I never think of that.
mm. So it's,
If somebody else want to remake it, that's fine.
mm,
I'll sit back and enjoy it, but nah.
mm,
Most of my music, once I do it and I put it down, it's exactly how I want it. Whether it's perfect or it ain't got to be the best singer, but it's got to be exactly true to what I was trying to feel. I'm not one of those artists that have to redo it and redo it and redo it. That takes away from me. I like my demos more than I like, my music when it's super mixed and all that. Like I'm not that type of artist. I like it. I like it to still have some life in it.
mm.
Yeah,
Okay, so there's perfection in the presence.
absolutely.
And
You can't recreate that first experience. You can't recreate that initial thing. And if you can capture it that first time, then that's what it is. I think a lot of people sometimes music sounds sterile to me. It can sound pretty and perfect, and you're singing all the perfect notes, but you don't feel nothing from it.
mm,
So a lot of times you got to hold on to what was real and what was raw in that moment.
that makes sense. And the reason why I asked that was because sometimes creative ideas do pop up here and there sometimes, and
Hmm.
and maybe you would just more so add those new creative ideas to something new, right?
Yeah, just do whole new song. I wouldn't want to go back and tear down something that was built right,
Mm,
and just for ego purpose. Nah, or Charlene could be a second part to Charlene, something like that. Then that would be different. But
mm,
I never
okay.
thought about ever changing Charlene. I never thought it. I never even had that thought in my mind about ever. I should have done that.
Mm,
None of those songs. Not once.
mm.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this then. Let's do a reflection question here. Out of all the albums that you've written and made, produced, which one holds dearest to your heart the most, and why?
I think coming from where I'm from, it's the first album that I was able to share with the world. And at that moment, I had experienced a lot of heartbreak. a lot of growth, and I was in a space that I felt like I truly owned.
Mm.
It wasn't something that the label created. That space, that texture, that voice, that man, life had did that. Life did that, and I felt like that was the most honest space I had been in.
Mm.
Yeah,
Like, um, just to dive deeper here at that time, what was going on in your life that really sparked those creative ideas with coming from where I'm from?
I think having a bunch of falling record deals and trial and error and being signed, not coming out, finishing a project, the music getting shelved, and then going through a relationship, um, you know, really deep relationship that lasted maybe I think it was 5 or 6 years. For
Mm.
that to end, I was heartbroken. So I had those moments where I was able to reflect on that and that energy it created, that hunger and that desire to scream out to the world.
Mm. Isn't it crazy how heartbreak can do that? You know what I'm saying? It's
Oh,
like you
absolutely.
expect it to be the opposite, right? But a lot of times it's like sometimes for me at least, it feels like something has to be destroyed in order for me to create. You know what I'm saying? And sadly, it's not always like that. Of course, there's creativity, and creation in harmony. But it's just something about that heartbreak that just really brings that dog out of you. You know what I'm saying? Make you say, "Look, I'm about to go at it. Like
Yeah,
nobody can stop me, and I'm gonna go crazy." And the reason why I also say that is because let me make sure I got my research right. Your first album was Ecstasy, right?
absolutely. It was a great album, but it never came out. It's probably leaked on the internet.
Mm.
It's a great album. I'd love to reintroduce that one and re-sing some of those
Yeah,
songs.
yeah. Bring that one back out, man. There was a gap between Ecstasy and Coming From Where I'm From. Musically, in your life at that time, what would you say was the biggest lesson that you learned, and the reason, or what was something that was going on, the reason why there was such a gap between Ecstasy and Coming From Where I'm From?
I don't think creativity had anything to do with the gap. It was more business.
Yeah.
All the record deals I got tangled up in everybody else's stuff. But the difference between ecstasy and coming from where I'm from, I had lived, and it had a different texture from being, stones thrown at you, the doubt, um, all that stuff added another texture. I had grown, had been broken, had to rebuild. But musically, I think the writing on Ecstasy was probably even better in terms of like writing and style, and was probably better than
Right.
coming from where I'm from. But coming from where I'm from had more feeling and more raw emotion.
Mm.
Yeah,
Why was it better written wise?
because I was in a writing space at that time that I didn't even know I had,
Mm.
and I was absolutely a machine.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I would take the music home and then write to it and think about what I was doing. Coming from where I'm from, I just went in and it's just let's go.
And it became a hit.
That's what happened when you let yourself be. Yeah,
Mm. Wow. And learning about the music business, clearly, you learned from what the lessons that you received at that time to now, because you're still thriving, right?
yeah.
So, I'm pretty sure there's some artists on here who want to know, like, what's something that you've learned about music business that you would say has helped you maintain over the years and progress over the years the way you have, and what was something that just really just stuck with you?
Look at it as a business. I think a lot of times we get into it because it's music and we love music and we want to do music. But when you get in here and realize it's mostly business and your music is the thing that can, help you advertise the business, then you look at it different. I think learning what it is that you have rights to, learning what it is that they want to have rights to, and making sure you have your lawyer and your team to facilitate the things that you need. I think being more business savvy is the most important thing. Um, go with your first gut when it comes to something that you really believe in, because a lot of times they don't know you. They don't know what's inside of you, you know?
Right. Right. And the thing is like nobody really grows up like. Did you have anybody in your family tell you about the music business, or have regular conversations, just random conversations? Say, hey, if you see perpetuity on there, don't sign it. You know what I'm saying? Just random casual conversation.
Hell no.
So it's like you bound to like
Yeah. I mean,
good
yeah,
or
you get
not
in,
get
you
screwed.
trust it. Absolutely. You get in it with people that you trust, and whatever they know, they teach you. And sometimes they miss a few lessons, and we both learn from trial and error. But my dad sang. My uncles, my dad almost got signed to Motown, and they thought the guy was. They didn't know he was a real agent, so they kind of drug their foot on it. But you know, they never really got a chance to really experience the business like me. Nobody's ever been this close to this type of success in my family.
Right.
Um, when it comes to like being in Hollywood or Grammys or anything on that level. We have some amazing people, college and professors and doctors, high ranking in the service, and just amazing people. But nobody, I don't think they were, I don't know, maybe I was just crazy enough to go for it. I don't think they were as crazy as I when it
Right.
comes to like going for it.
You think it was a certain type of craze you had mentally?
I just knew that I was going to be famous singing, and I didn't know what fame was, but that's what I told myself from like 5 years old, 6 years old, and I never stopped believing it. You
Mm.
know.
Let me ask you this then, Anthony. Coming from North Carolina into the music industry, right? Rappers from the South had to really go through some challenges
Yeah.
to really prove that, hey, yo, we can rap down here in the South too. We just do it our own way,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Did you experience those same challenges as a singer from the South getting into the music industry?
No, because the South has always had singing. Like people
Mm-hmm.
know, like you go down South, oh, you're gonna about to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. No, that was never a doubt. Like people know this is country. Country motherfuckers singing. You know what I mean? So we singing down here. It's church. Good Lord, I want to thank you. Good Lord. So we doing that down here. And of KC and JoJo, they're my cousins.
Oh,
Fantasia's their cousin. So I'm pretty sure somewhere in there, me and Fantasia family are connected. So we come from that. So I never, yeah, nah. You come down here and get it handed to you. You know what I
wow,
mean? Yeah, yeah. You don't know, yeah, nah. Come down here,
man.
man. We,
That's a fun fact. I didn't know that. Like,
yeah, absolutely. KC and I, yeah, we're cousins. Yep.
wow.
KC and JoJo, and then the darker guy with the big beard and the Hamiltons. That's my cousin. We're all cousins.
Oh, so it's all in the family.
Man, we down here eating and breathing, just singing.
Mm.
My cabbage sang, my greens sing.
Wow, wow. So like y'all just one singing family. Like that's
Yeah,
how it is
yeah.
down here in Alabama. You know what I'm
Absolute
saying?
things, anything, all down through there. That's singing, man. It's a whole different kind of singing. Don't get me wrong. Now, there's some city cats that can go,
Yeah, for
but it's a
sure.
different, it's a different sound, and yeah, it's a different sound. But yeah, I like it all. But that Southern ain't nothing like that good Southern singing.
Hey, it's in the fried chicken. That's what it is.
All in the grease.
Man, it's that grease, that
Yeah,
seasoning,
yeah,
the
yeah.
gumbo, every last thing, man.
Absolutely.
So let me ask you this then. In the studio, what are some do's and don'ts with Anthony Hamilton in the studio?
I don't really. I don't think it's just don't. If we're writing together, don't keep interrupting me. when I'm onto something. So I keep my space pretty limited to who I have in the studio with me. People I've worked with who I know come in with the same like-mindedness when it comes to like creativity. Because you got a lot of writers that come into the studio, or producers that want to take over and lead you. I already know where I'm going. All I
Yeah.
need to do is, for us to let's get there at the same time, or you show me a better way to get there, but don't redirect where I know I'm supposed to be going. Um, you know that I don't really have a bunch of do's and don'ts in the studio. Yeah, just don't make no noise when I'm recording. And if you're an engineer, always record.
Mm.
If I'm in that booth, every time, once we get the sound together, always record, because I'm gonna do something that you're gonna miss, and it's gonna not. It's not gonna bring the best out of us. It's just gonna be like, damn, God, I wish he said you didn't get that one. No, no, don't do that. Any real engineer, good engineer, will be on, because the magic happens when you're not waiting, when you're not looking for it.
Mm. So basically keep the camera rolling.
Keep the camera rolling, or you're gonna get fired.
Oh snap, man! Hey, look,
I
artists don't
won't
play
fire you,
about
but
this here.
I'll be, boy. I won't. Yeah, you go, boy. I'm really kind when it comes to that. Now you got to mess up really bad to take me out of character, but and I still won't go too far. But yeah, don't mess that up. Don't do that.
Like talk about that relationship with the engineer. Like the importance of an engineer, because I don't think people realize like how important like engineers are.
It's just as important as the singer and the producer. Like they are there, and they're man, they're qualified, and they're they're educated on how to get the best sound out of that equipment for you.
Mm.
And if they don't capture it the right way, and don't have the right texture on your voice and the right sound sonically
Mm.
for you, you can't really produce the best vocals. Producers can't produce the best music, because sonically it's either gonna be distorted,
Mm.
it's gonna be too loud, it's not gonna be mixed right. They're like doctors. They're like, as you're performing, they're doctoring on everything you're doing to make sure they're taking all whatever the bad. If you got mucus here, taking it out. You got too much calcium over here, take it
Mm.
out. So these guys are really sitting there. They're engineering and piecing your ideas. They're capturing your ideas and putting it together for you. So they're pretty much like an engineer, architect when it comes to putting the song and music together.
Mm. It's like the skyscraper that we see, from afar. It's like, okay,
It
this
was
is the part.
engineered. It was engineered by somebody extremely talented and qualified to do that.
Mm. And then, do you want to give your engineer a shout out?
Absolutely. Bruce Irvine is one of the longest engineers I've ever worked with. An amazing guy, big tall white guy with long hair. He's almost like a brother to me. Well, he is like a brother. And Ira from Maximus Music Studios
Mm.
is an incredible engineer that I work with now. There's been a lot of engineers over the years that I've worked with.
Mm.
Yeah,
Wow.
those two are the ones that I work with closely, like on most of my hit records.
Mm. Shout out to them. Shout out to them. And I always say, if you see a big white guy with a long beard, long hair, trust me, he knows what the hell he's doing.
Yeah. Bruce is he's working on movie stuff right now. Took a little break. He and his wife they do a lot of stuff for movies, and yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So we're going to get into some more questions, and then we're going to play an interview game if that's cool with you, man.
Let's do it.
But before we get into that, I just want to pause real quick to say, ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all so much for tuning in. You're vibing right here. This is a soulful journey with Anthony Hamilton, and I am the voice of the South, Q Smitty, spreading out this soulful joy, soulful love, man. Be sure to like, be sure to comment down below, share with a friend. Tell them, like, them Southern boys, we in here going live, going crazy, going country on them, spitting all types of fried chicken, collard green, cornbread, fish, everything, man. We spent a whole lot of flavor tonight. So be sure to catch some of this good knowledge that you're going to gain from the both of us and continue to, do great out there, because we're going to show y'all the way, And thank you, Miriam, for, setting this up and making sure that everything goes smoothly tonight. Mr. Hamilton, can I ask you a question about soul?
Absolutely.
Define the character of soul through the words and the eyes of Anthony Hamilton.
Define pretty much what soul means to me, what it is to me, right?
Yeah, because you're a rather soulful dude. When I hear
Yeah.
music, it's more than just
The
not
soul is
just.
that. Yeah, the soul is that place that's so deep inside of you, in your being, that it's unidentifiable from any human. It's a spirit. Another spirit can pick up on it, because it's so deep within us that it's not something that you could really see. You can see its actions through the human body, but the soul is something that's connected to God directly. It's connected to the source. It's connected to the stars and the sun, and it's connected in a different way than what our physical is, and it speaks into our lives by way of what we put allow to come into our spirits and into our souls. It speaks that it becomes more of that. If you're putting in good into the soul and your soul space, then your spirit becomes and your soul becomes that of good. But if it's something that you continue to put in bad, then it will start to speak more of a negative thing. But you really can't really destroy it. You can only alter it. Uh, and so that's why it's so important to be around like-minded, like soul people and people with the same spirit energy, because you could pick up on that, and you don't want to. That's not something you want to take lightly, because that's your ultimate being.
Mm. And somebody mentioned something to me the other day. They said you can read as many books as you want, but it's not going to change your spirit. It's not going to change your soul. Do you agree or disagree with that?
I think you can influence it, which eventually it'll crave change.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So if you influencing your soul and your spirit to become something better, to go to another level, I think with time and continued feeding, it'll change. It can change. You can influence it to change.
Mm.
It doesn't have to stay where it is.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And R&B, like, what's the difference between soul and R&B?
I think they're one and the same. It's just R&B is more of it's a lighter part of the soul.
Mm.
R&B is the soul on
Right,
vacation.
right.
Is not so much pain as soul. Soul is drenched. It's just it's drenched in some heavy stuff at times. Well, R&B is, it takes the lighter part of that and makes it more melodic. Soul can be melodic, but most of the time it's more emotion.
Mm. So
That's my
uh,
that's
you
my
said more melodic than emotion?
say that again.
Can you elaborate that melodic and emotion?
Well, R&B is more of a melodic way of singing. It's a certain structured way of singing.
Mm,
And R&B, there's melody,
mm,
which is melodic. There's tempos, and there's certain chorus structures that we use.
right.
When it comes to soul music, you don't have to really worry about that if you're singing from a place that, you know, that captures more of your attention because it's so steeped in experience and life. You may not be as melodic.
Mm,
You may not be as structured, but you're singing from a place where people can identify what it is. It's so it don't really matter. But
wow.
there's some soulful R&B as well when there's a combination of the both.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. A lot of R&B songs have love to it, so love involved. So I would say that has something to do with the emotions. You know what I'm saying? So let me ask you, as a singer, um, would you say with R&B and soul basically being one and the same, if you took R&B out of it, right, and just had soul, would you say as a singer that that feeling alone can carry a hit?
Absolutely. Yeah. Because hit records, there's a lot of soulful hit records that are more soulful than, than R&B. And there's a lot of country records that are, you know, hit records because of what's in it, what's the soul that's speaking in it. Yeah, 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 absolutely. You can have a soul record that can be a hit without R&B in it.
So basically, soul is the foundation of music.
Soul is the foundation of your being, whether it's music, whether it's poetry, whether it's writing, whether it's cooking. It's what lies in you way past your physical. It's it's almost like a ghost of you, but it's in you and it comes out and it's just, you know, yeah, it's that kind of thing.
Mm. So I want to dive deeper more into, I would say, manhood, because from my understanding, you have 6 sons. Is that correct?
Yes, 6 sons.
Okay.
3 of them are upstairs right now,
Three
making
of them
noise.
upstairs.
Yeah, the other 3 are grown. Yeah.
Okay, okay, they playing some good Fortnite,
No,
huh?
not on school night. Absolutely not.
Okay,
No,
okay.
no.
I
None of
don't
that
blame you.
stuff on school. No, no, I ain't playing that.
So, what would you say? What are some raising boys like that into men? What is something that you say that you really teach to your sons about becoming a man and experiencing life as a man? Because I feel like in 2024, I personally have been experiencing life more in detail of like what it means to really be a man. Like when it comes to mental health, like I feel like sometimes mentally we don't really seek the therapy that we need or seek the help that we need to carry on with our lives. And sometimes we may feel alone, right? And speaking of that, you recently were featured on a song called Alone, right?
Hmm.
So I want to ask you, about that song, tying that into what I'm asking you. What is something that you teach your sons about, becoming a man that will help them, beyond being a teenager and living life?
I think being a man is accepting growth and responsibility and um, having having integrity, having respect for life, your loved ones and women. I think being a man is a provider and being strong and resilient. But I also think being a man is knowing when to lay down your strength and to lean on somebody else. To know what your strengths are and your weaknesses, and being okay with exposing that, to seek the help that you need. And yeah, being a man is something that takes time, because you're not born a man. So this is things you have to learn and things you have to be exposed to so that you can become a good man. The thing is to be a good man.
Mm. And the thing is, though, like growing up, coming up as an 18-year-old, 19-year-old, like I heard it,
Mm.
plenty of times. Be a man, be a man. But like you said, it takes time, though. You know what I'm saying? But the people who are around you, they don't have time for you to take time, as a man. You know what I'm saying? So would you
Hmm.
say you just really teach your sons to like not worry about the outer world and just worry about yourself and make sure that you take care of yourself in a way that you are growing and developing how you're supposed to?
Absolutely. Get to know yourself and don't focus on the outward world. Make sure that you're okay. Because if you're not okay, you know, that's going to be a problem that's going to follow you. That doesn't have anything to do with anybody else, what they say, what they feel. It's going to bother you ultimately. That's something that you're going to have to undo. So if you get it right the first time, bump your head a few times, whatever it may be, but try to get as much of it right the first time. So as you grow and you're learning, you don't have to undo a bunch of stuff. And we learn things that we have to unlearn, but there's a lot of great teachings out there. You just have to be aware of who you're listening to, because there's some toxic people out there that were teaching you to be a man that you'll realize, like, hey, man, had I known long ago, I wouldn't have, invested so much time into learning what they were telling me. Um, you know, I would have tried to do the research on my own to find some of the things out and listen to the people who were giving me the examples that I looked up to. You know what I mean? That's some people that you can see, okay, they're grown and they're doing stuff. They may even be successful, but that's not the type of man I want to be. So you have to seek the type of guidance that you feel fits your integrity level,
Mm.
and it's something that you strive to be because it makes you better, or it makes it better for other people as well.
Mm. And I'm looking at the comments as well while we're having this great conversation.
Hmm.
And some people are mentioning, hey, it's okay for men to cry. Right now.
I cry on stage, so I never had a problem with crying.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't mind. My boys, they can cry. It's okay. Like, all my sons know they can cry. We hug, we kiss, we tell each other we love each other. That's not a problem around here. Like, can't have toxic masculinity. You know, because it becomes poison to yourself. Um, and those are most of a lot of times those are the ones that really, you know, deal with a lot of mental issues because they're so trapped in their masculinity that they don't allow themselves to have those moments where they cry or they
Mm.
let their hair down and, you know, feel like I don't have it today. I'm not my best. I'm not as strong today. It doesn't take away your overall strength. It's just today I just need to reboot, and that's okay.
Mm. Like, how do you feel about crying in front of women?
Man, I do it on the stage, 10,000. I've done it on stage with 30, 40,000 people in Africa, um, 2 nights in a row, just crying and not hiding it. I don't really care. I don't care what people think about me crying.
No, because I've had this conversation with a woman before,
Yeah, I
and
cry in front of a woman. I cry making love. Whatever. When it comes, it comes. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, that's what it's all about. Hey, I already said when it's time for
Yeah,
me to get married, when my bride walks down that aisle, shoot, them tears gonna be falling. Like, don't give me no
a-
tissue.
absolutely.
I don't want no tissue or none of that. I want her to see these tears so she can see
Yeah,
how
man.
much I want her. You know what I'm saying? And I love her. But the reason why I asked is because I had this conversation with a woman one time and said that, and she said, well, if men cry, we still have faith in you that you can actually still take care of a family. You know, even if you cry in front of us, because
Crying
sometimes, you know, we
doesn't make you weak.
right.
And if there's somebody who that consider you weak because you're crying, then they already thought you were weak in the beginning.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like that shouldn't dictate what they think. This is Mason. Say, hey, Mason.
Hey,
Hey,
hey.
hey. I don't do all that
He's
licking. Don't
giving,
start off.
he's giving you all the love. He or she?
Yeah. He, Mason.
Okay. That's what's up there. Mason chilling up with us. And yeah. So like that makes sense. That points out to a good thing, because sometimes, like I said, like just some of the teachings that we got from people who we weren't supposed to get teachings from. They say, hey, you know, don't cry in front of your woman because she's not going to think you're not strong enough, you know, to hold on to the family and stuff
then
like
she's a
that.
weak woman.
Mm.
And she doesn't support you fully. She's only into you for your masculine, whatever your masculinity can do for her, but not the whole, the entirety of you.
Mm.
You know. So maybe you might want to find somebody else who can allow you to be whatever you are within your own truth.
Mm. Exactly. Shout
Yeah.
out to Miriam. She said, thank you for your new song, Queen. Can you talk about Queen?
Queen is a song that I created, man, me and produced by Jermaine Dupri and Emmanuel Seal. We were in there writing. Eric Bellinger is the co-writer on it, and Eddie Kane. So we were there writing, man, and we wanted to do a song that celebrate Black women. I think a lot of times, you know, Black women don't get the praise that they need, and what better, you know, who better to do it than Black men, you know? So this is a song that celebrate a woman her best, a woman striving to be her best, a woman, you know, if you're not at your best, this song is for you to give you that energy and to plant a seed for you to feel beautiful and know that you're worthy. But
Mm.
it knocks though, that thing. You're my queen. Yeah, 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 yeah. You're my world when the world won't do, and the world won't spin without you. You're my queen. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, so it's a bop. It's got a bop to it. It's a club song, but it feels good. But it's a true Anthony Hamilton record.
Hey, true Anthony Hamilton record indeed.
Absolutely.
Hey, I know I'm gonna be vibing to it. Make sure that y'all vibe to it. If you aren't vibing to it right now, what are you doing? Go ahead and pull up your Spotify, Apple Music, all that good stuff, and go
Yeah,
listen
man.
to Queen right here, right now. So, man, we've been talking about a lot of soulful things here,
Hmm.
man. And before I go back into the next topic, you mentioned something about Black women. Shout out to Black women first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? We just gotta understand. You just have to work with Black women. You know what I'm saying? Understand them. You know, have better a sense of understanding of how they operate, how they
Absolutely.
feel.
Hey Shay, that's my niece. Hey Shay.
Hey,
Tequila Nas, what's up, baby? You know that song about you too. You know dark skin, your black self, pretty self. All right, come on.
exactly. Hey, shout out to y'all. But
Absolutely. That's my family. That's my sister's daughter.
hey, shout out to you. Thank you so much for joining the live, checking out your family, your uncle, man. We doing great things on this live. And shout out to the Black women, like I was
What's
mentioning.
up, Nashville?
Um, Sometimes, like I do feel like, do you feel like sometimes Black women get a bad rap for no reason?
Absolutely. I think anytime that you're so resilient and so amazing and you come through so much and you've overcome so much, people can't stand to see your strength. And so, you know, it's hard for people sometimes to see that this black woman, no matter what we've tried to do to her, tried to do to their men, their children, um, their jobs, their education, she still remains solid, strong, and beautiful, and do it looking good. Nails done, hair done. You know, it's just a different type of it's a different type of being. A black woman is a different species. She is not to be played with. She will do something to you. but treat her good, love her on her well, and respect her, and she'll have your back. You know.
Man, that black woman intuition is something serious, ain't it?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, you mess around. You know, you hear a pocket knife in the air. You
Man,
don't,
but
yeah, get it right.
got to get it right. But sometimes,
Yeah,
like you be like, you don't even know what you talk about. And then you go into the car and be like, dang, she
yeah,
was right.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's just crazy how they get that. You know what I'm saying? And I think some men be shying away from that intuition, and
Well, you shy away from intuition because you know it's coming from a true source. That's from God. So you're gonna shy away from it because you fear it because you know they on point. So you don't be like, yeah, I don't want you to use your God power on me. It'll capture me and my stuff. You know. So yeah, that's what that is.
man, that's how it be sometimes, man. So, Mr. Hamilton,
Hmm.
you've been. I'm pretty sure you've been keeping up with what's been going on in the mainstream world when it comes to music. There's a mogul who is recently in jail right now.
Yeah,
And there's been just been a lot of things going on.
Puff.
2024 was
Yeah,
that?
I've been knowing Puff since '93.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Can you expand on your relationship with her?
When I signed up, my first record deal was signed to Uptown MCA with Andre Harrell and Jimmy Jenkins, and they had Jodeci, Mary J. Blige, Heavy D, um, Father MC, and myself. And Puff was one of the A&Rs, but at that moment he was seeking his own thing because I felt like he felt like he was ready to do it at a young age, and so he was a real go getter. He's always been a real determined black hustler, businessman, and mogul. He's always had that from young. And as you grow and you started doing, you know, you gain success and you gain power and you gain all these people around you who either suck life out of you or allow you to become something that is far from who you really wanted to be in the first place. And sometimes we get caught up in situations that appear to be a lot different than what the outside world sees. And so sometimes we get caught up in things, but with prayer and just time, I think everything will work out. You know,
Mm,
I'm sure I've never seen him do anything crazy. Not to me. You know what we saw, what happened to him. You know,
right.
that's public. That's public. Then that's public. But I've never experienced anything. I've never seen him treat anybody bad or mistreat a woman or anything like that. Not in my presence. And yeah, but I've never went to a lot of the parties like the later years. But early in the years, like he would have something. I've never been to his home to party or anything like that.
Are you not really like a party guy?
No, I just I'd rather be to myself. I don't have to go to everybody's house. You know, I've been to a few houses here and there, a few parties. But I try to leave before it gets too thick because I don't want to do too much. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I don't want to drink one too many or say one too many things. So you have to know when to go home, and
Mm-hmm.
that's worked for me. And and you just can't go everywhere when there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of people. Then a lot of stuff is going on, and then there's a lot of people. So you just pick and choose what you want to be a part of and pick and choose what you don't want to be a part of. Not to say anything about anybody else, but that's just, I'd rather come home and party or go to a lounge or something. I don't have to always go to some, I think a lot of times people think because someone's a celebrity that, you gotta go over there and see what's going on. Like, because, how dare you miss it? There's certain things that, I go to the Jay-Z brunch, which is a nice, peaceful, beautiful thing. That's a good time. Jamie Foxx has had some really cool cookouts and stuff. But you leave early. You don't have to stay the whole entire time because as the night turns, spirits turn. Darkness comes out in the dark, and you have to know when to get up out of that. Um, yeah, yeah. I, but I've never experienced anything that I could say, wow, that that guy's a monster, or that person's a monster. I've never witnessed that.
Mm.
Yeah.
And so many words is self-control. You have self-control. You know when to go, when not to go, when not to do it.
Yeah, and then that sometimes I was off. My self control was off, but I was around people that know me who could pull me back into shape. Like, hey, whoa, 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 come on, man, you need to just go home. And then your team is so important. Like, you have the right team, not team players that are just there to get a check. So I've had the same best friend for 30-something years. My brother travels with me. All just the same people who knows, like, they don't give a damn about losing their job to save my life. You know what I mean? Or save my spirit or my integrity. Yeah. So you just gotta have the right people around you who knows when to tell you stop, stop, stop. That ain't cool. I don't care. Fire me, do whatever. Don't speak to me again. But no. And that's important. And the more powerful you become and the more rich you become, you have people around you that will enable you to continue, to do things that don't bring out your best light.
Mm.
You know.
Mr. Hamilton, man, I really appreciate you for sharing those amazing gems. A soulful journey with Anthony Hamilton, ladies and gentlemen. He basically just gave you the rundown of his life journey as an R&B and soul artist, and he also breaks down how he's kept the craft more important than his personal life. So it can be done. You know what I'm saying? And you can maintain that, right? And I want to thank you, for taking the time out to really, share those type of gems. That's what we need to hear right now in this current time of exposure that we've been experiencing and the information that we're receiving. What else can we catch from Anthony Hamilton coming real soon? Some good cooking, some good music. What we got?
I'm bringing the grits back. I'm bringing them back. It's going to be yellow grits, white grits, and I'm bringing the country store back, and some new music. Definitely, I'm ready to go in and finish this new album, man, and to love on the people. Touring. If you haven't got your tickets to the Maxwell tour, the cruise, get it. I'm coming to a theater or venue near you. And yeah, catch me. You can catch me at a grocery store or anywhere. So
Hey,
I'm around. I'm outside, y'all.
outside, baby. Catch
I'll
Anthony
come.
Hamilton
Yeah,
outside.
I'll come to Sacramento. I'll come anywhere. So for all y'all wanting me to come to where y'all live, call your radio station, tell them to get in contact with the promoters and set it up, and I'll be there. And I'll be singing your favorite songs. Yes, I will. Yeah.
Hey, you got to come to Birmingham for a show,
I
man. With
always
that,
go. I go to Birmingham. I've been to Birmingham more than I've been to Charlotte. Like, Birmingham was one of the first places. I think I went to Birmingham like every month when I first started uh, coming from where I'm from. First came out. You guys were first on the list to bring me in. What's it? The B&R warehouse.
uh,
I think it's the B&R, the B&H, the B&H. One of the is the warehouse. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And shout out to Big Junior, man, who passed away this year, man. Big Junior he was 6'6". He was a loving, amazing person. He was security. He was a brother. He was a friend. And his wife and his daughter. I send my love to you guys too. But yeah, Birmingham is very special to me. But some of my in-laws, my ex-wife, her family, she's got family down there, the McMillans and stuff.
oh,
So
for real?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I'm connected to Birmingham for life.
okay.
So
So you
yeah, my
went to
boys,
the
my boys' family down there, and that's my family still. So
oh man, so you hit to the Cajun ranch fries and the Kiki poo. Okay.
Come on, man. Yeah, yeah.
Man, Anthony, once again, man, thank you so much for coming on here, man. And just to
Absolutely.
wrap it up, man, one peep the scene question, man. Where do you like to hear when you're going to a rooftop bar, Anthony? What time of day do you want to attend a rooftop bar? Brunch time, evening, or night?
I think brunch time is amazing. That way I can enjoy going into a brunch and seeing the evening take place and watch the sun go down and watch the people feel at ease and yeah, bring in the night with a good spirit.
Hey, I love it, man. Well,
Yeah.
appreciate you for coming on here
Thank y'all,
again.
man. Appreciate y'all. And yeah, I don't have to get up in the morning because there ain't no school for the kids because the weather has been raining.
Oh,
So, and shout out, to everybody, all y'all who support my music. Prayers for a calm storm and those who are in the storm right now. We pray God and we bound that the damage will be limited.
yes, many prayers. So we've been catching a little rainfall here. It's not
Yeah,
as
it's been
bad.
raining here all day in Charlotte. God dog it. I know I got fish in my
Oh,
yard.
oh, man, ain't gonna be eating good though.
Yeah,
I'll go some serious ways. But
absolutely.
yeah, man. Definitely want to wish everybody safe. Y'all stay safe as well, Mr. Hamilton. And yeah, let's stay
Absolutely.
in
Hey,
touch, man.
Yoli.
Keep me updated on what you got going on in the
Absolutely,
music
man.
stage.
Absolutely. Make sure you get all the stuff. And the song, Queen, it drops on the 4th. So you can pre-order it right now. You can go and pre-order it. I appreciate y'all, man. And it's beautiful. So I can't wait for you all to smile about it.
Hey, Queen, be on the lookout. Be sure to pre-order right now.
Absolutely. Peace.
All right, peace,
All
love.
right. Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
All right, brother.